They tell you video games will not teach you anything useful, any skills for life. Newsflash, neither does high school. High school's a lot like that beta tank we mentioned earlier. Except you do that 5 days a damn week. And when you leave, you get to think about what you've done and get ready for tomorrow's fight. Video games taught me everything I need to know. Video games taught me about the birds and the bees. I'm sure you've heard of Tetris. You learn sex the same way you learn Tetris. First off, you start off the edge of your bed, you've got some music playing, maybe you've got the lights turned on low, but you're probably in front of a screen, probably in front of the TV, you got your hands down your waist, you got all these parts and weird shapes and colors, you don't really know where they go, you don't know what's gonna happen, but you get sort of good enough at the game with pressing random stuff, you're like, let's bring a friend in on this, shouldn't we? Yeah, it's a 2-player game, baby. So you bring them into the room, and then you kind of fit your piece together, you don't know what's gonna happen, there's a giant gap, and you have no idea what to do, and then this giant stick, savior stick, comes down from the ceiling, and you turn it vertical, and you slam it down, and you feel amazing, and your score doubles. Now, I will say they don't give you any really good role models. Video games will not give you a good role model. Let's look at Super Mario. Here's an Italian plumber who quit his job with the union to smash his head against bricks for money. And you want to talk about money, 100 of those gold pieces, this is the insane Canadian healthcare Mario has. 100 little gold shiny pieces that you don't even know where he's carrying them on can cheat death. I pay $260 a month. I don't even have dental. This man can punch the Grim Reaper and come back to work in the morning. What do I have to do to get that, Mario? Why can an Italian plumber hold his breath forever and Sonic the Hedgehog drowns after 10 seconds? Hear that music before I come now, by the way. You're welcome for that image. But not to mention what Mario has done to Yoshi. He threw a saddle on Yoshi. He's forcing Yoshi to eat his fellow dinosaur brethren. Guys, that's slavery and cannibalism. They don't even have that. You can't even do that in Grand Theft Auto. There's not even a cheat code for that crap. They don't even have a 10th commandment against slavery and cannibalism. Because no one thought that anyone would try to do this. And Japan has made billions selling this as a game to children. Thanks, Japan. You're like Korea, but good. Not to mention the fact that Mario smashed his head against bricks. There's head trauma right there. The only thing you see him eat are like little mushrooms that dance and run away from it. They're funny and make me feel big. So drug abuse, head abuse, not to mention every single Goomba, this man is on a murderous rampage. That's what the ghosts and the wizards and the fire pits are for. It's to keep the Italian plumber out. Why? For a kiss from Princess Peach, what Italian men will not do for their ladies. But after like the 4th or 5th dungeon and castle, all the Goombas would be throwing themselves, prostrating in front. Please, for God's sake, don't kill us! I swear to God! She's in another castle. Please. Wait. I know. Fireflower bitches. Burn for my sin. I grew up on comic books, anime. I'm a media devourer. I'm still a media devourer. We grew up on anime. Friends of mine have reproduced, and I don't know how. 2 best friends of mine. They had baby Jack, and I said, for God's sakes, please, make his middle name Harkness. I lost, but that's okay. Because there we are sitting on the couch, and in a few more years, little Jack is going to come up to us. And he's going to ask, Dad, where do babies come from? I guess, it's the time. Sit down, little Bashkenshin Sephiroth. Sit on Daddy's knee. You see, my son, when a Japanese schoolgirl reaches a certain age, she begins developing feelings of attraction for a deadpan, mellow boy in her classroom. She begins acting on these emotions through the Japanese tradition of stalking. After about 3 months of collecting scraps of his hair and putting them on the sex dolls she's made out of unread Inuyasha manga and rubber cement. What else are you going to do with Inuyasha manga? She decides decides to declare her love for the boy, which means on a bright sunny day when the cherry blossoms are falling, or feathers if you're reading a Clamp manga, there's always a molting bird flying above a round line. She'll stand opposite the boy and blush and look at her feet. Shoot. She then waits for a 2-foot-tall sweat drop to appear on the side of her head, which I believe allows her to transform into a magical schoolgirl and fight off giant robots. I don't know, I haven't visited Japan since the 90s. Things might have changed. And she'll say to the boy, "I like you!" which I believe is the Japanese equivalent to putting out on the first date. The boy, presuming that her vision is based on movement like the mighty Tyrannosaurus, stands perfectly still, hoping she does not see him. They are now dating until he beats her father in kendo. Yeah. And then, after a whole school year of holding hands, awkward pauses, late nights at the karaoke, the boy will take the girl into his arms some warm summer, spring night. And tentacles will spring out of everywhere! They begin choking and fondling her like a South Korean with a hot pillow covered in cheat codes of StarCraft 2! You're welcome to that image, by the way, too. They will start spouting. They will start sodomizing every hole that God has given her on her head. Around the side, they'll start drilling new holes and drilling those in 2-3 tentacles at a time. And then, after a half an hour of screaming, "No, please, teacher, I'm only 15, I'm only 15!" One final tentacle rises, having her suspended, spread eagle ever so delicately upside down. And a final tentacle rises that I can only describe as the bastard hybridization between a cactus and a pool noodle. Spiraled, rises, and they... I'm sorry, what was the question, son? Babies. No clue, dude, ask your mom.